Hello gin lovers and welcome back to No Nonsense Gin Reviews with me, Bobby Freeman, where today we're going to be looking at the top 10 fruity gins. Now the reason I've done this is because last week I did the top 10, I want to say normal gins, but it would be London dry gins, because originally I was going to sort of bundle them all in together, the fruity gins and everything, but there just wasn't enough room. I couldn't whittle it down to 10, so it seemed a bit unfair that some of the really awesome gins were getting pushed out. So I divided up. Last week I did the London dry, today we're going to be solely looking at the fruity gins. So strap yourselves in, my friends, for some pure fruity gin goodness. Fruity gin number 10. So here we go, kicking off our top 10 is the good old Mouthy Con Limon. Now it's a bit of a shame to have this at number 10 really, because it was really tough. It doesn't mean it's necessarily any worse than any of the others. It's a very sort of tightly run race, this one. They could all basically be bundled on number 1, but I had to get them in some sort of order. And I really like it because although it's, well, as you'd expect, very lemony, it's also sort of true to the gin roots. You've still got all the other flavours in there, all the junipers and all the classic gin stuff in there, but they've just sort of used the lemon very intelligently, I would say. They've sort of, it's just as gin should be, but with this lovely sort of sharp dash of lemon straight through it. It's just so nice. It's a lovely summery drink, and it is very worthy, most definitely, of a place in my top 10. Fruity gin number 9. Now, unfortunately, I don't have all the gins in this top 10 to hand because I have drunk some of them because they're so nice. So this is the first one to fall into that category, and it is Hoot Tawny Orange Gin. I make it appear now. There we go. This was one that was sent to me earlier in the year, and it became one of my favourite gins. It was lovely. I've been drinking it a lot over Christmas, and it's from a not particularly well-known distillery. I don't think it's available sort of further afield than the UK at the moment, but if you ever are in the UK or you're willing to pay the price to get it delivered to you wherever you are, it's really worth a try. It's very nice. It's really lovely sort of sharp or zingy orange flavours in there, but sort of combined with a lovely kind of earthiness as well. And I really enjoyed it. And also for a small distillery, it's under £30. I think it was $29.99. So it's a penny under my top bracket what I say you should pay, which is, as I say, at the top end of my bracket. But for a small distillery, they do have to charge a little bit more to be able to make any money. So it's not uncommon for them to charge, sort of over 35, 36, 37, £40. But they've actually brought in a really good price. So I love it, especially for that as well. So Hoot Tawny Orange Gin is a very well-deserved place in my top 10. Well done, Hoot. Keep up the good work. Fruity gin number 8. Okay, so I have got a bottle of this one. And this one, my friends, is of course Lone Wolf Cloudy Lemon Gin. Now this was a real sort of enigma for me because Lone Wolf is a very young company. They're made by Brewdog, who make all those lovely beers, and I reviewed their original one, which is up there on the shelf there. I liked it very much. It was very complex, a lot of sort of deep and sort of heavy flavours in there, including the pink peppercorn, which I thought worked really nicely. And basically what they did, they just whacked a load of cloudy lemon in there. Now this is very different from the Mouthy Con Limon, for example, because it's the cloudiness of it, but that sounds really stupid, but the cloudiness of it does make a big difference. Rather than your classic lemon flavour, it's more what I would sort of say is a traditional lemonade, or what sort of American style lemonade, and they've sort of swirled a bit of that around in there, and it works very well. And also, it is one of those gins that is very nice to drink neat. I'm not a big fan of drinking it neat, not all of them, as you know, but this worked really well when I did the neat test. So Lone Wolf, I'm quite excited about what they're going to do, because I've got a feeling we haven't heard the last of Lone Wolf, so I'm looking forward to other flavours from them as well. So Lone Wolf, keep up the good work, and congratulations, you are in the top 10 at number 8. Fruity gin number 7. Now then, this gin is a little bit special and one that's very close to my heart, and it is of course the King of Soho Variorum. Now I'm a big fan of the King of Soho. I reviewed the original one that's up on the shelf there, and that was actually in my top 10 London dry gins. But this one, you almost never see this. I don't think I've ever seen it in the shops. The people at King of Soho very kindly sent this to me, and it is honestly an absolute treasure. I've talked about it in my pink gin video as well. It's just the most lovely, and there is nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing like it. It's extremely original. And what they do, it's basically a strawberry flavoured gin. It's very nice on the strawberry, but they use a nice bit of vanilla in there as well, which to me comes across as kind of a creamy sort of flavour, which makes it strawberries and cream. I've made this point before, some of you may remember this, but I think that The idea of a strawberry and cream flavoured gin is just stupendous. This is most definitely at home in my top 10. And if you can find it anywhere, if you see it, just trust me, grab it and try it because you will love it. Fruity gin number 6. Okay, so this is another one where I've drunk all of it, so I shall make the bottle appear like so. There we go, and it is of course the Tanqueray Sevilla. Now this is like an old friend. It's absolutely brilliant. You cannot go wrong with it. I reviewed it way back near the beginning of my channel, and I would say the oranginess in it is, it's going to sound a bit disparaging, but it was a fairly standard orange flavour. There's nothing sort of too original about it, but that's not to say that it's not really nice, because it really isn't. It works very well with the gin they've put it in, and what I like is that they retain that sort of Tanqueray flavour. You can tell it's a Tanqueray, you can sense those flavours, and you can sort of feel their expertise and all their experience. They put it all into this and just packaged it up in just a lovely sort of amount of orangey goodness. It's so nice. Me and my girlfriend, we smashed through about 2 or 3 bottles of this within 2 or 3 weeks. It was just so nice. So if you haven't tried this one, then it is quite a well-known this one, but if you haven't by any chance seen it or tried it, I definitely recommend it, because I'd be very surprised if anyone didn't like it. So that is my top tip for you today. Try the Sevilla if you haven't, because it is truly awesome. Fruity gin number 5. And of course, we could not have a top 10 gin list without the good old Sipsmith being on there. And this, my friends, is Sipsmith Lemon Drizzle. They could have just brought out another lemon gin, but they didn't. They made this one a bit special and a bit unique. And that is, they added a nice sort of vanilla essence in there. Just as it worked for the Soho Variorum, it worked here because it gave it a kind of a biscuity quality, only just slightly, a tiny essence of it. So that's why they've called it the Lemon Drizzle, because I think that obviously they're trying to make like a lemon drizzle cake sort of essence. I think they have achieved it, and that, to be honest, I've never met anyone who doesn't like a lemon drizzle cake. And if you don't like it, I think you should go and see the doctor, because there's probably something wrong with you. And that they've captured the essence of that, and I don't know any other gins that have done that. So I am very much a fan of the lemon drizzle cake, and very much a fan of the lemon drizzle gin. So give that one a go if you haven't already, and it is most at home in my top 10. Fruity gin number 4. Okay, for this one, I haven't got any of the gin anymore, but I did retain the bottle. However, it is a very tiny bottle, so I have to hold this close to the camera. And it is, of course, another Sipsmith, and it is Sipsmith Orange and Cacao. Now, I'm not sure if it's cacao or cocoa. I think it is cacao, but it's essentially the same thing. It's a cocoa-y, chocolatey sort of taste mixed with orange, and it's quite a brave move, I think, to put a chocolatey flavour in a gin. And I was a bit sceptical when I first heard about it, but I tell you what, I absolutely loved this gin. It was very unexpected the way the flavours come. So you'll take the first sip and you get the lovely sort of oranginess as you expect. And you think, where's the cocoa? But then you swallow, you think, I've still got no cocoa or cacao or whatever. And then as soon as you swallow, literally as soon as it's gone down, woof, this aftertaste, this cocoa-y aftertaste, and it swirls around just a millisecond after the drink is gone. And it's just absolutely beautiful. If I could recommend just one gin, a new gin that you haven't tried before on this top 10 to try, if I had to whittle it down to just one, it would most certainly be that one, because it is one of the most interesting gins on the market. And I salute you, Sipsmiths, there you go. And I say to you, keep up the bloody brilliant work, because it's a magical gin, it's a very unique gin, and I demand that you all try it immediately. Fruity gin number 3. Okay, we're getting down to it now. And again, any of these ones could have made it to number 1, but it was just so tough. This one has been squeezed to number 3, and it is, of course, the Beefeater Pink, their strawberry version of their gin. Now, you might think there's not much in there, and you'd be right, because I've almost drank it all, because it is, oh man, it's just heaven. It is heaven to drink. I mean, assuming you like strawberries, and you know, why wouldn't you? It's just the most gorgeous gin. I mean, yeah, you don't get, if I'm honest, you're not getting much of the juniper going on in here now. And maybe a tiny bit, but it is masked. That strawberry flavour in this is very strong. But it's kind of like the strawberry flavour you get in strawberry sweets or strawberry candy. You know, you buy those sort of packets of sort of little, they look like real strawberries, but they're actually like jelly sweets. But really strong, potent strawberry. It's kind of like that. Probably also a very good gin for beginners as well, because some people struggle a little bit with the bitterness of gin and not that keen on the juniper. If that's the case, this one, my friends, is for you. So Beefeater, as always, you don't need me to say this, but keep up the good work, my friends. Fruity gin number 2. Now then, number 2 on the list, not everyone will have heard of, but it is this, my friends, which is Broker's Pink. I absolutely love this company. I always go on about them when they're on my channel because they're not well known enough. I think they should be sort of more mainstream because they are absolutely brilliant. But it's interesting when you compare it to the Beefeater Pink, because it was very, very difficult to choose between these two. And the reason this one pipped the Beefeater to the post is where I say, as I said, this Beefeater one tastes like a sort of a artificial, very sweet, nice sort of candy style strawberry. This one tastes like actual strawberries. It tastes like you've got a big bunch of them and you're just taking a big bite, and all that luscious sort of natural fruity sort of taste, they've captured it in here absolutely perfectly, and it works extremely well with the gin. If you can't get them in the shops or the store near you, which I probably think it would, which is more than likely the case, go online, try and get some. Whatever you do, just try and find some. But I'm sure, if you disagree with me, feel free to put a comment in the section below as always, but I am absolutely positive you will love this gin. And if you don't, I'll come around to your house and I will give you some cash. Fruity gin number 1. Okay, here we go, number 1. And as you've probably guessed, this gin is so nice, I have drunk every drop of it that I own. So I shall make it appear for you now as if by magic. That's right, my friends, it is a Malfi. We've started with a Malfi and we shall finish with a Malfi, and it is Malfi Blood Orange Gin. Now, this stuff was just, without doubt, I think my favourite gin of the year. Actually, no, there was a bit of doubt, as I said, because the others were so nice as well. But whenever I drank this, it was just sheer joy. And again, there are lots of orange gins out there, but this one was very, very different. It was more kind of luscious in the same way that the Broker's Strawberry is more sort of like a real authentic fruit as opposed to the Beefeater. The Malfi was a more kind of authentic orange. It felt juicy and all that goodness you get from biting into, well, I'd imagine it'd be like to biting into a blood orange. And also what's great about it is it is available most places in the world. I've obviously drunk it here in the UK, but it's also available in Europe. It's an Italian gin. I've also drunk it in America. I actually got a glass of this in Las Vegas. So I imagine it's kind of out there. So even if you haven't seen it on your shop or your store in your local area, have a look round, because I'm pretty sure you should be able to get some of this. And everyone should try it. Again, disagree with me, please let me know if you don't think it's nice. Put a comment in the section below, but I just love this gin and I had to have it as my number 1 fruity gin. Right, that's me done for another day, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the little bell icon so you get notified when all my new videos come out. And I will see you all next time on No Nonsense Gin Reviews. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.